So I just wanted to kind of go over the Blackmagic camera rig here. This is a Blackmagic cinema camera with the EF mount. And I'm just going to kind of go around and through this rig. And so first thing that you'll need for a Blackmagic cinema camera is an external battery, since the internal battery has very limited life. And so I've got a Bescor 7.2 amp hour battery belt here, and that goes into a cigarette lighter outlet. And then I've got a splitter here which does both 12 and 5 volts. Okay, and the reason I have the 5 volt output utilized there is that goes to an SDI to HDMI converter. This is just a little inexpensive $50 or $49 SDI to HDMI converter, and it takes 5 volts. Okay, because I don't have an SDI monitor, I have an IKAN HDMI monitor. I have to convert that from the SDI signal of the Blackmagic, which is a BMCC connector, and that comes down here to the adapter and then comes back out as HDMI up to my focus pullers monitor, or the focusing monitor, which is an external monitor. Okay, so let's go ahead and start from the front here. This is just a cheap Flashpoint rail mount. I'm loath to call it a matte box. It's really actually a lens shade, and although it is advertised as a matte box, but it does a good job of shading reflections and lens flares. Okay, and then in the front of the Tokina 11-16 f2.8 lens, I have a Very ND filter, a Hoya Very ND filter, which allows me to get f2.8 type of depth of field no matter what the lighting situation is. Okay, I also have a inexpensive Flashpoint follow focus and follow focus ring rigged to the lens here. Okay, the cage is probably one of the best bargains that you can find on Amazon. It's kind of a generic branded cage, and it's just kind of listed as Blackmagic cinema camera cage, and I'll have to look that up and get you the exact amount on it, but I think it was under $250, and I thought that was a great bargain considering some of the higher, more expensive cages out there. And so it has a handle so that you can, a nice secure handle so you can shoot handheld if you have to. And then I've got a 5-inch magic arm mounted to my external monitor here. Okay, the whole thing sits on a Varizoom tripod and fluid head, and overall it's a pretty good little rig. Okay, so if we come back here, and I've purposely kind of set up a kind of high contrast and overexposed here, and we can see I've got that at 1600 ASA, so I'm going to go ahead and turn down my ASA here and take it down to 800, and my color temperature set at 4500K, 90 degree shutter, and I am shooting in ProRes with the film profile here. Okay, so I'll come back out of the menu. You can still see that I have zebra bars, which is an option. I've got those set to 100%. So we can go ahead and update the iris here, and that will make sure that no pixels are clipped, and so we can actually see outside, and from a darkened room outside and get detail outside the window there. Okay, so now I went to autofocus continuous here, and then I'm going to, you can also set focus peaking in the Blackmagic camera's monitor here, and so I'm going to go ahead and set that up, and then I can go ahead and run my follow focus to get the peaking to show up on the Venetian blinds there. I'm going to come back over here to my focus monitor, and I also have peaking, which is an option on the monitor set there, focus peaking, and so I can check and make sure that I've got great focus there. And then also it is telling me that I don't have an SSD, and so we have the display set up so that it does do the overlays on the SDI, so I can actually use this to monitor what the camera status is. I can turn that off, so if I wanted to record that clean SDI output. So other than that, there's not too much more to say about it, and hope you enjoyed this little tour of this Blackmagic cinema camera rig.